Our story begins in North Orlando, Seminole County, a quaint, picturesque town far from the chaos of the Florida theme parks. A place where families thrive, surrounded by rolling countryside and southern charm. This was the home of Margaret and Chad Amato, who had built a life here, with their 3 sons Jason, Cody, and Grant. Margaret, a passionate horse lover, spent her time fostering retired racehorses, introducing the local kids to the beauty of equestrian life. Chad, a die-hard Florida Gator fan, would make it tradition to take his boys to every game he could. The Amato family seemed perfect from the outside. Jason, the eldest, had married and moved out, while the 2 younger brothers, Cody and Grant, were inseparable. They lifted weights together, went paintballing on the weekends, gamed late into the night, and bonded over anime. They weren't just brothers, they were best friends. Following in Cody's footsteps, Grant pursued a career as a nurse anesthetist, and together they traveled often, even taking a dream trip to Japan. By 2018, it seemed like Grant had the American dream. A gruesome discovery. Police arrived to the Amato home, to a scene straight out of a horror film, a triple homicide. The victims, Chad, Margaret, and Cody Amato. Detective Eva Marie Malturi led the case, piecing together the chilling final moments of the family. Crime scene photos painted a brutal story. Margaret had been ambushed at her computer, killed from behind. Chad lied in the kitchen, face up in a pool of blood. Cody was found by the garage door as if he was attacked the second he arrived home. The scene appeared to be staged. A pistol was placed conveniently near Cody's body, while Chad's holstered gun was mysteriously positioned on his opposite hip. The investigation began. In crimes like this, the police always look at the family first, but only 2 relatives remained, Jason and Grant. Detectives tracked down Grant Amato at a nearby hotel and brought him in for questioning.
You're being cooperative, sir. We appreciate that. Some Seminole County detectives want to talk to you, so we're going to get their handcuffs off of you.
Nothing in your pants, correct?
It's just a normal routine when we encounter someone that we want to make sure you're safe. Now we know you don't have your weapons, we'll get those restraints off of you. We're confident you've been cooperative, everything's good, so we appreciate that very much. It goes a long ways.
During his interrogation, Grant revealed a heated argument with his father the night before the murders. Chad had allegedly warned him, "If you step foot back on my property, I will kill you."
Basically, if that happens, that if I ever step back onto his property, that he would kill me. So, on Thursday, that all happened, and then I was in the process. I was getting all my stuff together. I was piecemealing it out to the car, and then, I had an interview on Friday.
Grant also claimed his father was abusive towards his mother, attempting to paint a different picture of the family. Not a peaceful sanctuary, but a place filled with fear and control.
My dad was a very, angry, violent type person.
Overbearing.
He would push my mom, and one instance, it was getting to that age where me and Cody were kind of getting old enough to maybe be able to do something if she needed our help. And I remember her and my dad were in their room, which if you go down the stairs, it's right there to the left. We heard our mom yell that he's hurting me, and then me and Cody run downstairs, and we go into the room, and then we're trying to get our dad off of our mom, and then my dad elbows back, and that's why my nose has got its little bridge right there. But that's how he was, spankings with a 2x4. Baseball practice, it'd be 4 or 5 hours, and he's hurling the ball as fast as an adult can, and we're 7th, 8th grade trying to catch this stuff. Definitely very overbearing, but he would always rationalize that he's just trying to secure our future.
Violent towards the family?
Violent towards my mom and towards me, never to and towards Jason, but never to Cody.
Why?
Cody
his favorite?
Yeah.
Of the 3 boys?
Yeah. And with that, I could kind of see it, but Cody also never really made any mistakes. He did a few things wrong, he lied a few times, You know, he cost my dad some money a few times, but he was never like a repeat offender, I guess you could say, whereas me and Jason, you know, we had that difficulty where it's like, okay, we got a C or we got a D on something, and I just don't want to tell Dad about it.
Sure.
But then he would find out, and then, you know.
Dad ever abuse you?
When we were younger.
How so?
Spankings with like a 2x4, and then, you know, he'd use like, I mean, it was like a 2x4 that was fashioned into a paddle called the lightning rod, I think is what it was called. No, he broke it on me.
I'd be sorry, I would probably take it to my dad, take it out and burn it.
Yeah.
So he didn't have it anymore.
But, yeah, he would, you know, he'd do that, and then he'd push you around. Like, he wouldn't punch you. He wouldn't bruise you.
Slap you?
He never slapped me.
What they uncovered next would shock them all as detectives pressed Grant Amato for answers. A disturbing pattern began to emerge. Grant wasn't just a grieving son, he was a man drowning in secrets. But gaming wasn't his only obsession. In the depths of his isolation, Grant became fixated on a Camgirl named Sylvie, a European model he met online. What started as an innocent conversation soon spiraled into something far more dangerous. An unhealthy obsession. Grant didn't just watch Sylvie, he worshipped her. He would shower her in gifts, sending expensive lingerie and lavish presents, desperately trying to buy her attention. While detectives struggled to get Grant to talk about his family, one topic lit him up: Sylvie. He wouldn't stop talking about her. His obsession was all-consuming. At one point, Grant would spend upwards of $2,000 a day chatting with Sylvie, sinking deeper into his addiction. When detectives asked how much he had spent in total, he would answer chillingly, around $200,000.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying with it?
Well, what I was doing is, over the past 4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's, as embarrassing as it is, she's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model. Do
All right.
either of you guys know?
Nope. Just like all the videos, you have to tell us.
A cam model, it's like it's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Like that type of situation. So, a lot of the money went to her.
Okay, where's she at?
She lives in Bulgaria.
Where?
Bulgaria?
Where's that?
Over in Europe. It's like
Okay.
outside of Germany.
Okay.
Something like that.
You ever been there?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
Okay.
What would you give her money for?
Just for like time online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like that type of thing.
And what does she charge? By the minute, by the hour?
Minute. Yeah.
Okay. And how much is it per minute?
Oh god, I think it was like 90 tokens a minute, and it's like the conversion rate for all of that is like $600 for like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all like the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens and you use the company's digital currency for that.
So you do that, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on like Twitter, like just through direct messaging.
So how much do you think you spent?
Probably close to like $200,000.
Stealing from his own family. When Grant's own money ran out, he turned to the people closest to him. First, he would borrow thousands of dollars from his brother Cody. When Cody cut him off, Grant began stealing from his parents. He maxed out the family credit card, even took out credit lines against their home, all to fund his obsession. When Chad, Margaret, and Cody discovered the extent of Grant's betrayal, they gave him a final ultimatum. Stop speaking to Sylvie, seek help, or leave the family home. Grant agreed to attend a private rehab facility in Florida, fully paid for by his parents. His brother Cody, ever loyal, even offered to help him pay off his debts. But Grant couldn't let go. He lasted only 2 weeks in treatment before walking out. Desperate to keep him from spiraling further, his parents met him at a local California pizza kitchen. with a printed list of rules he had to follow if he wanted to come home. Get a job, no internet access after midnight, no contact with Sylvie ever again. But Grant wasn't ready to give up on his obsession. Defying his parents' trust, he stole his mother's phone and reached out to Sylvie once again. The final straw was met. The next day, Grant was officially kicked out of the house, his world crumbling, his addiction controlling him, and his family had finally had enough. Then less than 24 hours later, the Amato family would be dead. Throughout the entire interrogation, Grant never once asked about his mother, father, and brother. With no evidence, there would be no conviction. Would Grant Amato get away with his murder? With no physical evidence left at the crime scene, detectives faced an uphill battle. If Grant Amato was the killer, they needed a confession or something concrete to tie him to the crime. But when the police arrested Grant at his hotel, he was wearing clean scrubs and his car was spotless, not a single drop of blood. A chilling detail considering the sheer amount of blood at the crime scene. It just didn't add up. Desperate to break him, the detectives resorted to deception. They told Grant they had bullet casings and fingerprints, hoping the pressure would force a confession.
Struggles or the issues like happened Thursday. Never for you. I believe you 100%. I believe it's never been like that. But something happened Thursday, unlike anything you've ever experienced in 29 years of your life. Never.
And maybe you felt that was rock bottom for you. You were getting kicked out of the house. Your father gave you an ultimatum. I mean, that's, you're already dealing with the debt, and, now you have to stop talking to this girl, and now you're being kicked out of the home. I mean, I can understand how you would feel. I mean, that you'd want to lash out, or, if something happened, you'd want to defend yourself.
Sure. Absolutely.
But we need to know what happened.
I mean, I can tell that you guys are, leading me into a certain way of what...
The only thing we're leading you to is want to get the truth from you.
But Grant didn't flinch, remaining stone-faced, silent, and emotionless. Running out of options, detectives brought in Jason Amato, Grant's older brother, the only surviving family member. Unlike the detectives, Jason wasn't given a script. He spoke to Grant as a brother, pleading with him for the truth, at one point even directly asking for a confession. But Grant still stone-faced.
We're getting anywhere, and I'm going to be honest, I don't feel comfortable with you staying with me. I mean, if in a week or a couple days or 12 hours and something else is discovered, then I might have a change of heart, but I have no other options in my head of what's going on, especially if you're confirming that there's nobody looking for you. And if you're saying that you ran away or stayed in a hotel because you were forced to, or you were told you couldn't stay there, I don't live there, so I have no proof. The only people that live there are dead, so they can't say anything. But the morgue called me this morning, so I have to make decisions for Mom, Cody, and Grant and Dad in the next couple of days. So just letting you know that I'll be making those decisions, because until I'm given verifiable information that you did not do it, I don't think you have the right to make that decision. You already made the decision on whether or not they can live or not. That's not your job.
With no evidence tying Grant to the crime, Grant walks free, but not for long. With no confession and no hard evidence, detectives had no choice but to let Grant walk out free. But they weren't done yet. Over the next 24 hours, police began piecing together Grant's movements using cell tower pinging and chat logs. Grant was seen at a Publix, logging into a chat room link to Sylvie. Money was being spent in real time, money Grant didn't have. 2 days later, detectives stormed Grant's hotel room. He was arrested and charged with 3 counts of premeditated murder. From the moment the trial began, prosecutor Stuart Stone didn't hold back. Photo after photo of the Amato family, lifeless bodies, flashed before the jury. Then the prosecutor dropped the most chilling accusation of all. Grant didn't just kill his family, he staged the crime scene to make it look like his own beloved brother did it. But the most disturbing evidence, Grant used his father's lifeless finger to unlock his phone and drain his bank account.
At 12:08 a.m. on January 25th, 2019, Chad's iPhone, his iPhone USA application, was accessed to add an account on for funds transfer. You access your account and you can add on to that account another fund to which you can transfer. You'll see Chad's bank records from USAA, and you'll see the defendant's bank records from PNC. And you'll see that an account was added for funds transfer onto Chad's USAA account. Once again, that was done hours after Chad's murder.
His family had contacted Sylvie, telling her to cut off communication with Grant. That was Grant's motive. His obsession was stronger than the love for his own family. In the end, Grant narrowly avoided the death penalty. The jury did not vote unanimously, but there was no saving him. He was sentenced to life in prison. Sylvie appeared to just be a ghost in the machine. Grant's attorney attempted to contact Sylvie, if that was even her real name, to appear in court, but she never responded. Because the moment the money stopped, so did the chat.